Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 117 on my countdown to retirement. So, like every Saturday, I did my weekly financial review, and we ended up the week up 0.7% week over week, so I was really happy with that. We're now up 10.94% across the portfolio for the year, so again, pretty satisfied with that. On the downside, I checked, and a little over 6% of my total portfolio and just less than 17% of my bond portfolio that's in US T bills is going to mature immediately prior to the September Fed meeting. And since the Fed is expected to reduce interest rates at least a quarter point and maybe as much as 0.5%, it's certainly going to cause me to have reinvestment risk when I roll over the contents of the T bills that are currently, coming due into the next set. So, I've been getting somewhere around 4.3 to 4.4% on most of the T bills that are going to be coming due. And I'm expecting that'll probably roll over right around 4%, maybe a little bit less, 3.9 something. So not happy about that, but it is what it is. And then the stock market as a whole ended the week mixed, but only the Dow was down. So everything else was up. The Dow Jones Industrial Average finished down 0.3% to 45,401. The S&P 500 was up 0.3% to 6482. The Nasdaq was up 1.1% for the week to 21,700, and the Russell 2000 was up 1% to 2391. 5 of the 11 S&P 500 sectors were up for the week. That was consumer staples up 0.3%, telecom was the big winner, up 5.1%. Healthcare, 0.4%. Information technology, 0.2%. And consumer discretionary was up 1.6%. And then WTI crude for the week was down 3.3% to $61.87 a barrel. Gold was up 3.9% to a new record. And it's $3,653.30 per troy ounce. Natural gas was up 1.7% to $3.04.8. And then the international markets were mixed this week. Germany was the big loser, down 1.3% to 23,597. And the winner for the week was Hong Kong, up 1.4% to 25,418. So this week I was in the mood for fried chicken, and unfortunately I'm too cheap to spend the money that they want at Popeyes, Bojangles, or KFC for fried chicken. It's just their normal prices to me are ridiculous. It's more between $2 and $3 per piece of chicken, which I just think is crazy. So I went over to Lidl today and bought 2 packages of chicken legs for 97 cents a pound. So I was able to get like more than a dozen chicken legs for less than $7 and per package. And then I also bought skinless, boneless chicken thighs, and I want to say they were $2.99 a pound that I use for some recipes that I've got. But anyway, I decided I was going to make them later on, and that was satisfying my desire for the fried chicken. So when I got back from Lidl, the day was overcast. It wasn't that bad from a temperature point of view, and since we're nearing the end of summer, I decided that I would pressure wash my driveway because I need to do that, at least once every couple of years, and it was getting to the point where I definitely needed it. And I leave my truck outside, so you can actually see then the difference where the truck is parked versus the rest of the driveway. So I definitely wanted to take care of it. So fired up my pressure washer, and 4 hours later, it was done. So then I took a shower and threw the chicken in a 400-degree oven, but I decided I wasn't going to fry it. I threw on, basted it in barbecue sauce, put it in the oven, and then about 20 minutes before I was going to pull it from the oven, I also took 2 ears of corn that I had left over, coated them in butter, and one of them I put Old Bay seasoning on, wrapped them in some aluminum foil, and then fired up the grill, put it on the grill, and started rotating each ear of corn every couple of minutes so that it would get done approximately the time that the chicken would be ready. And then I pulled the chicken from the oven and then finished it on the grill for a few minutes to make sure that it charred the barbecue sauce. And since it wasn't fried, it at least satisfied my desire for chicken. I still would have liked fried chicken, but I just didn't feel like having to, have the mess of all the chicken in. And I do have an actual chicken fryer that I could drop the chicken into, but then it takes forever for me to clean the basket and everything. I just didn't feel like dealing with that today. So barbecue chicken was good enough to satisfy my desire. And then my son, I texted him and said, were you doing anything fun today? Did you go out exploring since, he's new to the Raleigh area? And he got back to me and said, we're painting, but before we started painting, we went out to Cary, North Carolina to kind of an upscale theater there to watch the new Conjuring movie, which you'll never catch me going to that kind of movie. I hate horror flicks. So good for him. And then he sent me some samples that they had put on the wall so they could decide, what room to do in what color. So that's what they're doing now. But that's my update for today. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great evening, and until tomorrow, take care.